Alright lads, Switchback F1 here, and today I've got an F1 2018 driver lineup prediction. Just to let you know, I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, and comment any changes you would make to this. So starting off with Mercedes, I feel that they'll stick with Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, as it is the best car on the grid, and they're both really enjoying it there and work really well as teammates, better than Nico. And obviously I know Bottas has a 1-year deal, but I feel like Mercedes only did that because, well, he'd never been in the top team and they didn't know he'd perform, and he's doing really well, so they'll stick with him. Going on to Ferrari now, I feel like they will stick with Vettel and Kimi, as Vettel is obviously their number one driver and wouldn't want to move as he's enjoying it, but Kimi, I know he's not enjoying it, but he'll stay there because there's nowhere else to go, and obviously I know he could retire and I'd like him to be honest, but he's not. And obviously I feel like if Kimi doesn't want to retire, he should move to a lower team because he's not good enough for a championship fight and race-winning car. Moving on to Red Bull, I feel like they'll stick with Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, as Ricciardo is really enjoying it with 5 podiums in a row he's got this season and the racing in Baku, which I think really shouldn't have happened as Lewis's headrest is just not fair. It wasn't his fault, but Max Verstappen, obviously, I know he is like having a tough time, but he'll stay because the only other place to go is Ferrari, and he is not going to be teammates with Vettel, as you can see by on-track overtakes who don't like each other. Moving on to Force India, I feel like they will stick with Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon, as there's nowhere else for them to really go unless Perez goes to Ferrari if Kimi retires. But I don't feel like that'll happen, and Ocon is part of the Mercedes young driver thing, and Force India are the best team apart from Merc with the Merc engine. Moving on to Williams, I feel like they will have Pascal Wehrlein and Lance Stroll, as Lance Stroll brings lots of money to the team, and I feel like Felipe Massa would retire, as he hasn't said it publicly, but I don't think he's happy with this year's car, as it is really far off the pace compared to where Williams should be. And I feel like Pascal Wehrlein would go there, as Williams is the only other team with an open slot, as what I think, with a Merc engine, and that they're a big step up from Sauber, where I feel like he should not be in for next year because he's too good for that car. Moving on to Toro Rosso, I feel like they will have Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly. Carlos Sainz will stay there, but I know he has said and got angry about he doesn't enjoy it like there with Kvyat, and he's been there for 3 years now and nothing's happened, but he did say in the Q&A Red Bull is his like main priority for the future. And I feel like they'll kick out Kvyat because he's a waste of space right now. He might have been good before, but since he's been at Toro Rosso, he's scored more penalty points than actual championship points. And I feel like Pierre Gasly is there as he's won GP2, so he must be good and is a Red Bull young driver. And I'd like to see how he's in F1. So now moving on to Renault, I feel like they will stick with Hulkenberg, but they will swap out Palmer for Kubica, as Palmer is just really far off the pace and hasn't scored any points yet, and he's just terrible. And Kubica, I'd like to see him back in F1 as he was really good before, and Renault, he has done tests with him, so hopefully he can do very well. And now moving on to Haas, I feel like they will stick with Grosjean and Magnussen, as they're both getting on really well and like each other as teammates. They are kind of enjoying the car, apart from Grosjean when it locks up sometimes, but they've changed from Brembos now, so it should be all good. And I know Giovinazzi could go there, but I don't feel like Haas really want youth drivers and they just want experience. So now on to McLaren, I feel like they will stick with Alonso and Van Dorn, as I know Alonso wants to leave, but there's nowhere else to go. Like Ferrari won't have him if Kimi retires, because Vettel obviously will be a number 1 driver and Alonso would be a number 2 in Van Dorn. There's no reason for him to move. Going into Sauber, I feel like they'll have Giovinazzi and Ericsson, as Ericsson is back as in the team and that, and Giovinazzi as Sauber have a Ferrari engine, he's a Ferrari young driver. So thanks for watching, have a great rest of your day. This is Switchback F1, see ya.